kicking off here with a familiar face. Go Local CEO Josh Fenton is coming on to talk about some big news coming out from Go Local next week.
How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Yeah, we've got some big news in the world of politics. I think a lot of people know that we have partnered up with John Della Volpe at Harvard's Kennedy School, who runs Social Sphere, one of the leading polling companies in the country. They work for folks like the U.S. Marines and Major League Sports and a whole bunch of folks. And if you haven't seen him on Morning Joe, he's a regular on Morning Joe. He will be releasing our first effort at polling Rhode Islanders. He'll be here Thursday with you, unveiling a look at how Rhode Islanders are feeling about elected officials, the economy, and big questions that are pending before Rhode Island.
And how much can we tell folks ahead of time here? Or do they have to check in with Go Local tomorrow to see a little bit more number of questions, types of questions, that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have an overview of what's coming up this week. It'll be unveiled both Thursday and Friday. I think it's, we've invested a lot in this partnership with them, and we think it's important that Rhode Islanders get really high quality independent polling. John Della Volpe, works all over the world. He's really seen as the number one researcher on how millennials feel about things. He's done a lot of research on, everything from Hillary and Trump to how Trump's dealing with things, and travels the world. And obviously he's up at Harvard this week. Mika and Joe did an event up there with him and President Faust up at the Kennedy School at Harvard.
You can actually catch that Mika and Joe segment that we put on Go Local to show that
Absolutely.
John was moderating that when they were up at the Kennedy School. What else should folks know as you're here in studio with us today?
Well, I think the important thing is that it's an independent, highly regarded poll. This isn't somebody who's doing polling in the market that's also doing political candidates as well as working for media companies. I mean, it's really a different approach. Probably hasn't been done with this level of independence in Rhode Island in 20 years by any media company. We think it's really important, and it will also dispel some, I think, perceptions out there about how people are feeling about specific issues, because he'll have the insights into things, and I think there will be a lot of surprises being unveiled.
Now, this is just the first, yes?
This is the first. We're doing this as a benchmark. We'll be polling all the way through next year on a regular basis, up, probably before the primary, before the general election, and then see what happens on election day for a whole host of folks. Obviously, all the general officers, everybody in the General Assembly, the Mayor of Providence race is on. So it's a big political year in 2018 in Rhode Island.
Now you say this is the benchmark. I mean, this is really kind of sets the stage for each poll coming forward. Are they going to be the polls similar? Will we see different types of questions in different polls, or we just kind of see the temperature gauge in each one?
Well, I think this will be the benchmark to see where people are, and then people are almost running against the poll to some degree to improve perceptions about themselves. I think we'll do some experimenting about where Rhode Islanders want to go in the future. I think there's a lot of talk about what's bad about Rhode Island all the time. I think that what's the discussion about where should we go? We're seeing growth at the airport. I'm not sure the state's putting in much of an effort to get the Amazon second headquarters. And I don't think anybody's asking Rhode Islanders if we should go after the Amazon second headquarters. That's the type of thing you'll see us look at in 2018.
So what can we expect leading up to the release of the poll?
Tomorrow we'll have a little bit of an overview of it. On Thursday, John Della Volpe's on with you, and then Friday we'll go over the second half of the poll as well. So I think all in all, there's going to be a lot of data for people to digest, a lot of information. There will be some very happy people, and there are going to be some very unhappy people. I think the one issue is they're really not going to be able to question the polling. This is one of the best pollsters. He's independent. He's working for the top clients in the world, and I think that puts a very different spin on the analysis of the polling.
And how do you expect the rollout? Are we going to release it Thursday, talk about it with John Thursday afternoon, or is he going to release it on Thursday afternoon on air?
So he's going to start breaking it down, half of it on Thursday, the other half's going to be released on Friday. So you're going to see results between Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday and the weekend on a whole host of issues. And they'll be sort of organized based on the economy, jobs, elected officials, etc., how people are feeling about it. And there'll be some insights about young versus old, how are millennials feeling about the future of Rhode Island, how are older people feeling about income stratas, and any geographic analysis about, is the East Bay feel better than the West Bay? Things like that across the board.
But not, is the East Bay better than the West Bay?
There will be no discussion about whether the East Bay is better than the West Bay. I do not want to be any part of the brawl between Coventry and Warren.
Okay, will not be part of the poll. Well, very much looking forward to seeing this. I think it'll, as you said, provide a lot of insight as we're really getting underway in the 2018 election cycle here.
We never left the 2016 election cycle, as best
No.
as I can tell, based
No.
on the number of officials and candidates that speak out and how many press releases we get and how many events there are. I mean, you went to more events this week with big crowds than probably happened in the olden days in a month.
Yes,
So,
it is a busy time, and I think, again, this poll will really put that temperature gauge as to where things are at. So look forward to talking more with you and with John when he comes in next week.
Great, thanks everybody.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Okay, Josh Fenton, CEO of GoLocal24, previewing what is to come with the first poll coming out from John Della Volpe. GoLocal announced this partnership just a few weeks ago, again, putting out several polls leading up to the 2018 election, again, giving you, the viewer, the voter, insights as to what people think here in Rhode Island. So looking forward to bringing that to you right from here at the Navigant Credit Union broadcast.